On behalf of the board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society in Singapore, I welcome you to the Bayanihan Center. The Bayanihan Center has opened its doors to support the educational, social and cultural needs of Filipinos and others in Singapore. Thanks to the strong partnership between the government of the Philippines and Singapore and the initiative of our founding president, Ms. Jenny Chua, and Vice President, Mr. 𝐂𝐫𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿. Since its establishment in 2001, more than 13,500 people have undergone skills training at the Bayanihan Center. But the Bayanihan Center is located at 43 Pasir Panjang Road. It provides classrooms, facilities and support for volunteers and community groups to conduct various short-term courses including basic and advanced computer training, nursing aid, hotel and restaurant management, dressmaking, caregiving, cooking, and baking and cosmetology. To foster the socio-cultural ties between Filipinos and Singaporeans, we also organize the Bayanihan Walk. It is an annual event to bring together people from all across sectors of Singapore in a fun walkathon to promote integration of Filipinos with the Singaporean community. Tara na mak, Bayanihan Center na.
Good evening to everyone. This is Dr. Eugene. I'm one of the board member of the Philippine Bayanihan Center Society. In behalf of our president, Attorney Ranveer Singh, and the rest of the board members, I welcome you to our evening session for today. Apologies for the delay in my signal. I'm coming direct and live from Manila. Hopefully I'll get to see you live. I'll turn on my camera in a while once my connection is stable. But without further delay, let me introduce our topic for this evening. Could you share our slide, please? Okay, so for this evening, we'll talk about EcoFusion Elegance, bridging timeless traditions with Okay, so again, apologize for the delay. Okay, so just to introduce our speaker. I hope you can hear me well. Our guest is a degree holder of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Management Information System. She has a post-degree from Ateneo, Leadership and Social Entrepreneurship Program from the Ateneo School of Government in 2017. She has a Fashion and Design Merchandise and Fashion Institute of the Philippines in 2020. She is also a certified mental health facilitator and a board certified by the National Board of Certified Counselors, USA, since 2021. She is a fashion system. She did fashion system at Parsons School of Design, the new school in 2023. CJ, as we commonly call her, okay, she is passionate about the intersection of fashion, culture, and sustainability. Crystal brings her years of entrepreneurial experience in the fashion industry with focus on promoting eco-consciousness practices and preserving Philippine cultural heritage through her clothing. Her experience lies in social change, business development, curating and designing clothes that seamlessly blend traditional craftsmanship with modern aesthetic, fostering a harmonious relationship between the timeless elegance and sustainable style. So without further delay, let me welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Crystal Joy Estrada Galientes. Hi, CJ. Magandang gabi.
Hi, Doc Eugene. Magandang gabi po. Maraming salamat for that lovely introduction. I also would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Randir Kumar, Ms. Cecil, and Ms. Stephanie, and the rest that makes the Philippine Bayanihan Society. Thank you for inviting me to deliver tonight's workshop.
Thank you very much. We're truly honored to hear your presentation and to share your passion to us. Again, I apologize for my signal, but I pass the baton to you, Ma'am CJ, and I'll see you towards the end of your presentation.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Eugene. Can I share my screen now?
Go ahead, Miss CJ.
Ayan. Can you all see my screen po? So tonight, I hope I can give you all a new perspective about fashion. I'm just curious, when you hear the word fashion, what comes into your mind? Doc Eugene, like, when you hear fashion, ano agad po yung naiisip ninyo?
Parang avant-garde, tsaka very atas.
Futuristic and ano, okay, very experimental pala and adventurous si Doc. Okay, thank you for that, Doc. So yung iba, naiisip agad nila damit, yung iba, presyo, mahal. So that's what they say. But Vogue defined fashion as the mood of an era and a reflection of our culture and society. So for me, fashion for me is representing yourself not just by the clothes you wear, but also in the manner of how you do things. But for tonight, let's all agree with ChatGPT's definition of fashion to get us all in the same footing. Sabi ni ChatGPT, it is a dynamic and ever-evolving expression of personal and cultural identity. So personal and cultural. Personal is individualistic and cultural is collectivistic. So fashion, therefore, is a mixture of personal individuality and collectivistic cultural identity. So ito yung two components that influence our choice of clothing. So to best understand the difference between personal style, we can say personal style and fashion. This is my favorite quote from Yves Saint Laurent. So sabi niya, fashion fades, but style is eternal. And to better understand this, I have here a fashion cycle diagram. So from here, it will help us to better understand why and how fashion fades and how are they formed and how are we influenced by this in buying what we wear. So the line at the bottom represents the time and the vertical line represents the fashionistas or the fashion adapters. So the yellow represents the fad, red for the trend, blue for the classic. So ano bang difference ng fad, trend, and classic? We have to know this. But before we go into that, first let's understand how these trends are formed. So meron kasing two approaches dyan, the trickle down and the bubble up. So the trickle down approach, it starts from the top down to the general public. So for example, the designer makes a set of collection, and then you will see that sinusuot na ng mga celebrities and the influencers, and then it will go down to the editorials. You will see them in the magazine, and then down to the stores, to the regional franchises, and finally to the mass market. Tapos, nakikita din natin itong mga to sa mga fashion shows. So, una-una dyan yung New York Fashion Week. And then, susunod doon yung London Fashion Week, and then Milan. And the last is the Paris Fashion Week. So, that's the trickle-down approach. Now, the bubble up is, from the mass or the lower income to the consumers in the upper level. So, ito yung mga umuuso muna na suot ng mga tao, kadalasan in pop culture, diba? So yung mga loose-fitting clothes, loose-fitting garments, diba, dun yung nagsimula. If you're familiar with the Birkenstock sandals, yun, dun yung nagsimula before sinuot ng mga celebrities and high profiles. Yung Converse shoes, ganun din. So those are the example. Now, yung fad, ito yung mga fashion, pag sinabi kasi nating fashion, it's anything that we wear, from the head, jewelry, bags, shoes, and clothing. So, hindi lang siya damit, no? Ang fad, pag sinabi mong fad, nadidevelop siya and driven siya by novelty. So usually it has no functionality and it lasts less than a season. So if you remember yung mga shutter shades, yung mga malalaking shutter shades na parang pinasikat nila Kanye West. So sumikat lang siya for a time, but ang daming bumili, ang daming nagsuot, but then eventually hindi mo na makikita ngayon. So that's one example of fad. Another one is yung 12 pockets, yung dami-daming bulsa. Umuso yun before, kung natatandaan nyo. And then now, you can't see anyone wearing that anymore. Tas, isa pa yung pants, yung hammer pants. They call it harem. Yung, or parachute pants. Yung ang laki nung, yung sa waist niya, ang laki. So, for quite some time, sinuot siya ng mga tao, but eventually, nag-fade din siya. So, those are fads. Ito yung mga bagay na pag binili mo, it will be worn by many people in less than a season, tapos wala na siya. So, pwede mo, kadalasan ito yung mga gamit natin na natatambak, di ba? The next one is the trend. So, yung trend naman is driven by the market's needs. So, mostly, these are functional pieces. And ano ba yung mga, and it lasts more than a season. Usually, mga 6 months or longer, maybe a year. Ayan, trend. Minsan, if you watch YouTube, diba, makikita mo yung mga trend for 2022, trend for 2023. So, ayun. Ano ba yung example ng mga trend? Yung mga micro mini skirt, ayan. Kung natatandaan nyo, during the pandemic, naging trend din yung lounge wears, kasi di ba work from home, yung mga lounge wears, workwear. So it lasted for over a year din, di ba? So yan, ito, as an example, the puffy sleeves. So naging trend din siya. Ano pa ba, yung mga chunky loafers, yung mga chunky loafers na suot ng mga Gen Z, di ba? Naging trend din siya for a while, but nawala din siya. So, mabilis din yung maturity and decline ng mga fashion pieces sa trends. But meron din mga trends na eventually they transcend into classics. So, ano ba itong mga classics na to? These are the fashion items that we can wear all throughout the year, all throughout the season. Kaya tinatawag natin siyang classic. So, one example is the peplum. So, una, sumikat siya, naging trend siya, and then later on, sinusuot na siya ng mga tao. So, naging classic wear na siya. Ano pa ba? Example, yung off-shoulders. So from the trend, naging classic na rin siya. Bomber jackets, yung mga bomber jackets, yung ating denim jeans, ayan, classic na classic, pati yung skinny jeans. Those are the example. Sabi ni Coco Chanel, yung little black dress. So, diba? So, you should have that in your wardrobe. Kasi those are the pieces that you can wear all year round. Ayan yung mga classic. And if na-master mo to, pag bumibili ka ng damit that you consider if this is a classic style, then yung laman ng wardrobe mo, masusuot mo all the year round. And you'll never go out of style. Ayan. So, that's fashion, diba? How about style? So, sabi ni Molly Bingaman, she's a transformational personal stylist. Sabi niya, everyone has style. The question is not whether or not you have it, but whether or not it's being expressed. So if you're familiar with Brené Brown, she's the author of the book Dare to Be Great and Dare to Lead. No? Sa kanyang research, when she's doing the book, yung research niya about shame, it reveals that body image and appearance are universal shame triggers. And this is not something na only women struggle with. It is the same thing in men. It doesn't go away with age. And there are certain environments, relationship, and age and life cycles that triggers this. Okay. And we care about our appearances not because we're vain or we need praise or we're seeking attention. We care about how we look because we want to connect. We want people to see us. So sabi ni Molly, our deepest desire is to be seen. But in order to be seen, you must first show up. So we want to be seen. We want to be seen as attractive. Diba? I don't know if there's anybody here who wants to be seen as unattractive. Diba? But the most attractive look is always the most authentic one. And that's because authenticity is universally attractive. So the size, the age, the fashion brands, and how much you spend in clothes to show up, none of it really matters. Kasi diba, when someone shows up authentically, you don't just see it, you feel it. Diba? Because that's the signature of authenticity. The signature of authenticity is resonance. Diba? So in styling is also the same. In styling, you have to choose clothing that resonates with you. You really have to find the match and the sympathetic relationship between the clothing and the wearer. And I think that's why I'm here tonight, to encourage you not to be fashionistas, but to show up and express your personality and identity through clothing. So may I reintroduce myself? I'm CJ. I'm the founder of Habi Collective. It's a social enterprise based in Singapore with a mission to broaden the reach of Philippine hand-woven textiles and to promote and preserve our cultural heritage. I also co-founded 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐚 Wellness. It's a mental health training and consultancy company based in the Philippines with a mission to bridge the gap between the lack of mental health professionals and the high demand of mental health support through highly specialized training intervention. In addition, I also help as a think tank and the HR executive for our family business in pharmaceutical retail in CPE and K-Farm. I first set foot in Singapore when I was around 22, and I worked as a financial and IT sales consultant. So I'm very grateful and thankful for the 17 beautiful years in SG. The longest affiliation I have in the community and in my service is with Couples for Christ Singapore. So we joined there in 2013, and that makes our 10th year now in 2023. Isang dekada na po. I'm currently serving in the East One Music Ministry. Yan. And I'm also an active member and volunteer of Ateneo Leadership and Social Entrepreneurship Alumni Association in SG, where I contribute as article and content writer for Pulse Magazine and ALSE Digital. And recently, I mentored a group of a new breed of social entrepreneurs in Taiwan. And for the many roles I play, mothering my three beautiful kids and being a supportive and loving wife to my husband is my most favorite. I have so many hobbies and interests, but tonight I am called to share it with you the joy of dressing up and my advocacy in preserving the Philippine textiles. Ayan. So sabi ni John Galliano, the joy of dressing is an art. So John Galliano is the famous British designer behind the brands Givenchy and Dior. So if I'm going to be, kasi yung styling is really a different topic na in fashion, and we need a different session for that. But if I'm going to give you 3 tips tonight to improve your personal style, I encourage you to know your body type. Are you an apple shape, pear shape, hourglass, inverted triangle, or rectangle? Do you have that body type? And you also should know how you move and match that energy. Yeah, and finally, you really have to know yourself, embrace and express yourself. So the photo here of the woman in the screen is she's Iris Apfel. So see Iris Apfel, she's a fashion icon if you're familiar with her. She's also an American businesswoman and nasa textile business din siya, and she served the White House for over 9 presidencies. And sabi niya, fashion you can buy, but the style you possess. The key to style is learning who you are, which takes years. And there's no how to roadmap to style. It's about self-expression and attitude. So there. So I hope starting from tonight, you start your journey or embrace more yung joy of dressing up and reinventing and improving your personal style so you can show up as you want and who you are. Ayan. So I'm sharing the learning objectives. So we just got started. Ang objective ko tonight, after my talk, I hope everyone could have a deeper understanding in fashion and weaving as an intangible cultural heritage. And may everybody learn how to make a better fashion decision. And somehow, maybe I can inspire you to express yourself and show up as global Pinoy. Ayan. So let me start by defining what is intangible cultural heritage. So sometime in 2003 in Paris, so yung UNESCO, they held a convention to talk about safeguarding the intangible cultural heritage. So they defined it as the practices, representation, expression, knowledge, skills, as well as the instruments, objects, artifacts, and cultural spaces associated therewith the communities, groups, and in some cases, individuals recognized as part of their cultural heritage. So the importance of ICH is not the cultural manifestation itself, but rather the wealth of knowledge and skills that is transmitted through it from one generation to the next. So like in weaving, it's not really the tela, but the knowledge and the skills on how you make the tela. Yan. They also identified the 4 domains of ICH. So yung one is oral tradition, the languages, performing arts, the singing and dancing, and drama and epics. Third is the social practices, rituals, and festive events. And finally, the 4th one is the knowledge and skills to produce traditional crafts. So the photo right here is the photo of Mr. Teofilo Garcia. He's one of our National Living Treasure awardee because he's the last tabungaw hat maker from Abra. So actually, the hat is katukong. The hat is katukong. And sabi niya, during his time, everybody wears katukong. So ginagamit siya like when the high school kids graduates, they use the hat for their graduation. Even the farmers, when they're plowing the fields, they use this kind of hat. And tabungaw is actually the vegetable. It's a variant of white squash. Ayan. So he makes hat out of a vegetable. And siya na lang yung natitira dun sa kanila na gumagawa ng tabungaw hat. That's why he conferred the Gawad sa Manlilikha Award and the National Living Treasure Award last 2012. And I think tinuro niya din kasi very important yung safeguarding the intangible cultural heritage. Yan yung important concern ng UNESCO. So safeguarding means ensuring the viability through identification, documentation, research, promotion, transmission through formal and informal education, and revitalization of various aspects of the heritage. So it's not enough that we have identified something as an ICH, but we have to ensure its viability. So viability means its applicability, its usability, its workability. Yun. So yung mga katulad ni Sir Teofilo, they, as the bearers of the ICH, they have the responsibility to safeguard it by passing it on to the next generation. And I believe may mga tinuruan siya, hindi lang in making tabungaw hats, also sa paggawa ng mga other types of straw hats in Abra. So another example of traditional craftsmanship is textile. So in the Philippines, the textile production was evident ever since 10th century. So if you can take a closer look at the Banton cloth pictures right here, these are the oldest existing textile samples in the Philippines. And the oldest existing specimen of warp tie-dye textile in Southeast Asia. So they found this in a burial site at Banton Island, which is just off Romblon. So ito makikita nyo to, these are kept in the National Museum in Manila. So at the top right photo, you can see there the map of the Philippines with the route. So ayan yung trade route of Southeast Asian countries during the 10th to 15th century. And evident then that we traded with the Chinese. So pag sinabi nating trade, it's not just an exchange of goods, it's also exchange of ideas. Also exchange of people yun, and materials. So yung mga Chinese junks during that time, they brought in yung mga beads sa kanila yan galing, yung mga glass beads, ceramics, glazed jars, silk, and metal. And they brought out sappan woods, indigo dye stuff, cotton, beeswax, deer antlers, and other forest products and gold from the Philippines. Yun naman yung tinrade natin sa kanila. And then around 12th to 15th century, that's where we also started trading with some countries in Southeast Asia, like in Japan, diba? Kaya if mapapansin mo, if you're going to take a look dun sa route from Mindanao sa lower part of the Philippines, diba? The route goes to Malaysia. That's why a lot of fabrics from Mindanao is very close. May resemblance talaga with the batik of Indonesia. And we also have a lot of textiles na kamukha ng tela ng mga Japanese. I think mamaya I can show you. Ayan. And then comes the galleon trade when we were colonized by the Spaniards for 300 years, no? We are trading our textiles from Manila to Acapulco. So if you watch, ano bang movie yun? Encanto. Diba? So may similarity din yung textiles nila sa atin. So we're trading also to some Western countries via Suez Canal, via Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, and Malacca Strait. Ayan. But before we come into weaving, ayan, we have to understand ano ba yung materials na ginagamit natin to weave. So we need a yarn. And here you can see a map where you can find the various fibers that we use and the region that produces the plant fibers in the Philippines. So in the northern part, madaming nagpo-produce dyan ng cotton. So the photo at the second photo on the left is that's aramid fibers. Yan. Tapos yung sumunod doon, the third photo is a sample of a beaten bark. So yung mga beaten bark galing yan sa trunk ng mga halaman. And then they shred it to get the fibers. So very, very familiar sa atin also yung pineapple leaf fiber. Tapos makikita mo yan sa Aklan, of course, Bicol. And you can also find abaca producing provinces in Bicol region, in Mindoro, and some parts of Mindanao. Ayan. Yung banana fiber, you can also find banana fibers from Aklan, Iloilo, and Antique. And lastly, if you see the color green, ayan yung silk production or the sericulture. So meron tayong sericulture in Iloilo, Negros, and some parts in northern Luzon. Ayan. So meron na tayong yarn. I want to walk you through the process of getting the pinya fibers. So, paano ba ginagawa ng ating mga kapatid ang pagkuha ng pinya fibers? First step niyan is gathering the pineapple leaves, of course. But hindi mo yan basta-basta kukuhain. So, you really have to wait for the fruit to sprung up. And then, wait for the fruit na yung before siya mag-ripe, so hindi pwede pag-ripe na siya. So that's when it's the best time to get the pineapple leaves because by that time na-reach niya na yung utmost length niya. Yan. Hindi mo siya, and then hindi mo rin pwedeng kuhain yung na-harvest mo na yung fruit. Yung mga dahon nun, mature na sila and it's gonna give you brittle fibers, so madali siyang masira. So these are the important knowledge, no, yung sa tinatawag nating ICH, intangible. The next part is the stripping process. So they use porcelain shard to strip off the epidermis or the outer surface of the leaves to get the rough fibers. So the rough fibers, they call it bastos. So the bastos, rough. Ayan, but pag nakuha na nila yon, they will find a coconut shell to scrape it off again. And that's how they get the very fine piña fibers. But it doesn't end there. They need to beat the piña with a wooden paddle. Sometimes it's a bamboo. And then let it dry before they will wash it in a free-flowing river and then dry it again. So when they dry it, hindi naman kailangan under the sunlight, no? Basta you hang it dry at matuyo siya. Then they will start the knotting and joining the strands of the fibers. So there are certain ways to tie pinya fibers. So hindi siya basta-basta na knot. So there's also another way in tying other fibers like the ramit and the abaka. So, di ba, very intricate yung process niya. That's why ito yung mga part na tinatawag nating intangible cultural heritage. Ayan. Just to share with you the national, so meron na silang fibers, and this is how the indigenous communities dye their fibers. So they know what part of the plant or the tree to harvest to give them the red color or the black color, the color they want. So they know how to get the tap for the colors or the sap for the colors. They know how long they need to cook the fibers to soften the fibers so it will absorb the dye better. So alam nila yung temperature niyan, tsaka kung gaano katagal. And of course, the last part is always washing it and letting it dry. Now, meron na tayong, nakoloran na natin yung dye. So paano ba ginagawa ng ating mga indigenous or weaving communities rather, yung textile production? So what I have here is the clamshell type of production of Tiboli in southern Mindanao. So Tiboli are the dream weavers. Magdadasal muna sila and they have to dream about the pattern before they weave. Ayan. Tapos ang produce nila is the tinalak, di ba? So this is how they make the tinalak. The husband and the wife are involved. So ang unang gagawa niyan is the husband. The husband will gather the abaka leaves and then he will do the stripping. So pag nakuha niya na yung fiber, he's going to give that to his wife. And yung wife yung in charge sa conceptualization of designs, netting of fiber, setting the warp, tying, dyeing, loom setting, and weaving. So ang dami-daming, so most of the part ginagawa ng woman, 'di ba, ng wife. For the last part, yung flattening design into fibers, ginagawa yan ng wife. However, yung pinaka-last part niyan is the husband, yung gumagawa ng polishing. Kaya kung, I think I have ito. Kaya kung makikita nyo o nakakita na kayo ng tinalak, di ba, shiny siya. So, ayan. Pinapolish nila. Nako, ayan. I hope makita. This is the sample of tinalak. Ayan. May blur yung camera. Anyhow, yan, that's why shiny siya. Now, ginagawa nila yung weaving in between the planting and harvesting season. So, yung mga tiboli, or not just the tiboli, also the weaving communities in the Philippines, they're not just weavers, they're also agriculturists. So they know the planting and harvesting. Ang lagi nilang ginagawa is they will plant first, and then while waiting for the harvesting time, dun sila mag-weave. And then comes the harvesting time, magpa-plant ulit sila and then mag-weave sila. So they do that alternately. Okay. Of course, we need our principal weaving implements to weave. Yung backstrap loom and the pedal loom is ito yung looms na ginagamit natin in the Philippines, and the backstrap loom is the oldest one, and this is also portable. You can set it up anywhere you go. Ayan. I cannot go through one by one sa mga tela na meron tayo in the Philippines, but I attended one of the Zoom events of Dr. Norma A. Respicio. So she's the author of The Journey of 1,000 Shuttles. It was published by the National Commission of Culture and Arts in 2014. And it's an award-winning book that showcases all the textiles we have in the Philippines. So I encourage you, dito sa image na nandito, pinakita niya kung anong ginagamit, kung backstrap loom ba o pedaloom yung ginagamit sa paggawa ng mga fabrics. Later on, I can share to you some samples. But ngayon, because it's so many, no, it will take a lot of our time. So let's just settle with the top 10 indigenous fibers of the Philippines from north to south. So number 1 is inabel. So yung inabel, ano yan, sa Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union. Ayan. Marami kasing tawag sa kanila inabel, pero may iba-iba pa ring variants. Like this one, this is also inabel from Ilocos, and they call this binakol. Oh my God, hindi nakikita, but I hope. But anyway, you can Google it. So this one is binakol. So makikita nyo dyan, para siyang whirlwind yung pattern niya because it's sa ibang part naman tawag nila is kusikos. Kusikos yung pattern kasi it's a whirlwind. It's the god of the wind, kusikos. So may belief sila na if you wear this, mapoprotektahan ka from the hurricane, from whirlwinds. Ayan. And if you travel sa sea, you will be protected from rough winds. Another type of inabel is the pinilian. So pinilian, kaya siya tinawag na pinilian, may mga piniling threads. Ayan. May mga piniling threads na umaangat. Ayan. So this is an example of inabel pinilian from Ilocos. Tapos, yung mga design ng textiles, yung mga design kasi ng mga wini-weave ng ating mga weaving communities is yung mga nakikita din nila sa paligid nila. So in Ilocos, prominent dyan yung mga flowers and leaves like this. Ayan. That's example of abel. I don't have ikat, so I encourage you if you can check Google. Ayan. Next is the sinamay. Hindi ko nakuha yung sinamay ko, but I use that for as a bag. And you can find a lot of sinamay in Albay. Ayan, sila yung top producers of sinamay. Next is the piña. So, ito yung sample ng piña, and very known ang mga Akyanon in producing piña cloth. Ayan. Sample of piña. And then tepiña. Tepiña is from Palawan. Tapos hindi siya, unlike the other weaves here, yung tepiña, hindi talaga siya from an indigenous community. So project siya ng rurungan sa tubod wherein pinul nila yung resources in Puerto Princesa and the women in Puerto Princesa para magkaroon ng cooperative and magkaroon ng pagkakakitaan. So they invited people from a clan to train them to weave piña. But it's kaya siya tepiña, parang baby piña. They use a different kind of pineapple in Puerto Princesa. And then what happened here, meron kasing French designer na nagbabakasyon lang sa Palawan and then nakita that the people there are weaving and then tinrain niya and then it really helped in uplifting the art. So this community, Darurungan sa Tubod, they're very open sa research and development, and they're working with different artisans in different countries like Canada. So yung tepinya nila, na-improve nila. So, may different colors na, may different metallic streaks din. So, yun yung difference ng tepinya from other indigenous textiles in the Philippines. But they've they're doing this, I think for over 20 years, darurungan sa tubod. Ayan, hablon. Hablon is my first favorite. Kasi yung hablon, kasi kung nakita niyo yung pinilian kanina, medyo makapal siya. So this is hablon. Ayan. It's made of banana shrub. So napakalambot niya, tropical fabric. Tapos shiny kapag if you take a closer look sa hablon, it's shiny. Ayan, inaul. This is a sample of inaul from Maguindanao. Ayan. Ayan. Minsan yung pattern, kasi nga di ba kumukuha sila ng inspiration sa paligid nila. Ito sa Mindanao, maraming weaves doon ng inspiration is mga animals. Ayan, para influence din ng India. Ayan. Yakan. Yakan in Zamboanga. Zamboanga and Basilan. So ito yung sample ng yakan. And kita mo yung differences nila. Actually yung yakan, they are the people, yakan. But the weave, ang tawag talaga dito is tenun or tinanun. So yung produce nila is tenun. Ayan, makikita nyo yung mga geometric shapes. It's very colorful. Ayan. Ayan. Yung tinalak in South Cotabato, ayan, let me try again. Ayan, pag mas malayo pala, mas nakikita. Ito po, ganito po yun. And it's made of abaka, kaya medyo matigas siya. I don't have a sample of pisyabit because this one, medyo mahirap siyang hanapin. And may challenge din yung mga weaving communities in this part to send their textiles to other parts. So maybe, and I hope you can Google to find out what pisyabit looks like. Ayan. And the winner of them all is, ayan, the piña handloom woven textile from Aklan. So it's freshly inscribed just last week, December 2023, on the representative list of ICH of Humanity in UNESCO with nomination file 01564. So finally, official na nabigyan ng place ang ating weaving as an ICH. Ayan. Kasi sa Aklan, they also use a very specific type of pineapple in weaving this piña cloth. And di ba sa atin, this is the preferred textile in making formal attire. And tapos, what's special about piña is it's actually a vehicle for innovation and creativity. Kasi yung mga practitioners, they constantly develop new designs and patterns, even if they preserve the old one. Yun yung yung piña. So now the piña textile is our source of pride and a strong identity marker. Diba? It's the most highly regarded amongst the traditional textile. It's the queen of the Philippine textile, yung piña. Ayan. And what you see on the right of the screen is the photo of the winner of the annual Lourdes Montinola Piña competition. So weave ni Marilyn Almero of La Herminia Piña Weaving, and that's a peacock. That's her peacock piece. And recent lang din yan, just last November, and she won. Ako, I'm a true blue Manilena. I'm born and raised in Manila from a Manilena mother. But my father is an Aquianon. So, siya pinanganak and pinalaki. And we often visit Aklan in Boracay. So, that's my Filipino story. Kaya close sa akin yung yung pin niya. Now, we have to understand why do people weave? Bakit ba maraming woven textiles in the Philippines? At bakit sila iba-iba? So we have to understand na yung mga tao, they do this because there's a demand. And before, they do this because they need it. They need clothing. Diba? So they make their own clothes and they design their own textiles. Now, yung mga community, yung mga gawa nila, we will call it traditional goods. So yung mga traditional good, it is created and consumed by the community. It has a specific and significant function to the community, and the products have inelastic demand. So for example, ang inelastic demand, wala na siyang ibang purpose or function. Para lang siya doon. Hindi mo siya magagamit sa iba. That's inelastic. So the first photo at the top right, you will see there are 3 ladies wearing their skirt, woven skirt. They are igorot. So when we say igorot, it's a collective term for various indigenous people group living in the Cordillera. So they can be Ibaloy, Kankanae, Ifugao, Bontok, Isnig, or Kalina. So those are the commonly known group pag tinawag natin. And what we have here are the women in Bontok society. So before, when they weave, yung mga tela nila is also indicative of their class position. So the first person on the left, the one wearing the red skirt, she represents the lower class, and then the one in the middle represents the middle class, and the last one on the right represents the upper class. Ayan. And if you can see the belt they wear, the 2 women are wearing white belts. They are single ladies. So yun yung ibig sabihin niyan. So before, you cannot wear a colored belt if you are single. So the woman in the middle wearing a colored belt, ibig sabihin she's married and older. That's how they do it before. But of course, time change, di ba? As fashion change, nadidevelop, nag-iiba. So now, if you go to Bontok, itong mga tela nito, they don't just use it as a skirt. So may iba-iba ng pinagagamitan, and in their recent festivity, anybody can wear whatever color of belt, white or colored, pwede na whether you're single or married. Ayan. So, and then eventually, nagbiweave na rin sila for mass market consumption of traditional goods. So, kapag nangyari to, the original significance of the product is removed, and the product has elastic demand na. So, hindi na siya for a specific purpose. So, if you can see the woman representing the upper class wearing the blue skirt, no? Ngayon, hinahabi pa rin siya, and now we can use it as a shawl. So, if you can see the first photo at the bottom left, that's Miss Eloisa wearing the shawl woven in Quezon Isabela. It's also in Cordillera. So, di ba, same pa din, di ba? Same, but different. Different na yung function niya. I don't know if I can, ayan, pwede pala, ayan. So, if you can take a closer look dito sa red shawl natin, ito naman is also woven in Quezon Isabela, and this one won and was represented in the New York Fashion Week in, I think, 2020 or 2021. Ayan, nanalo siya. And mamaya makikita nyo yung master weaver and yung weaver na gumawa niyan. She's also the winner of weaving competition of Zara One, if you're familiar with that brand or the designer. Ayan. So, nag-weave yung mga tao out of demand for consumption, dati for community consumption, but they're broadening it. They can also cater the mass market They can also produce for mass market consumption. Ayan. And we have to understand what's the difference in producing traditional goods from producing mass market produced goods. So, ang mga traditional goods, ang mga products niyan ay utilitarian, may function talaga sila. And art is a way of life. There's no signature. There's a shared notion of ownership. It's highly creative and cannot be easily replicated. And production is a family affair and values driven. Also, the product life cycle is longer and there's more values associated with the product. So example niyan, di ba yung mga ano nga natin, yung mga hand-woven textiles natin. And I just put here the photo of gong and kulintang. So these are examples of traditional goods or traditional products that we make. So, ang difference naman ng mass market production, yung product naman is wala ng signature. And the production is in a sterile environment. So, ano na siya, parang factory-based. So, remove na yung familial environment. And the product is easily replicated. It follows the mass market life cycle. So, mas mabilis yung growth and maturity niya, tapos mas mabilis din yung decline. So, mas mabilis siyang palitan. And the products are less indigenous and the values, less indigenous ang values associated with the products. For example, di ba yung iPhone or yung mga damit natin, yung mga mass-produced clothing. Yeah. Currently, in the Philippines, we have, this data is from Nayong Pilipino and was given around 2020. So during that time, they said, because now it could be more, but by now in 2023. So during that time, they said there are 494 weaving groups in the Philippines, and we have over 5,000 weavers, which are 44% are in Luzon, 16% in Visayas, 18% in Mindanao. Don't ask me why it doesn't tally to 100 kasi ayan ang binigay nila. But what is very clear is 44% is in Luzon, and out of that 44, 22% is in the Cordillera Autonomous Region, and the rest is in the Region 1 and Region 2. So itong mga weaving communities na to, they make the weaving industry itself makes 150 million annually. Yan yung estimated annual revenue nila at 3,000 pesos per month per weaving group. But it could be more. So, depende yan. Depende sa level of commercialization nila. Diba? So, kaya makakategorize natin yung mga weaving communities based on their level of output. So, it can be high level, medium level, and low levels. Ano ba yung mga factors na nakaka-affect why they are in this category? So, yung kanilang community readiness. Ito yung factors noon, yung weaving population. Gaano ba kadami yung weavers sa lugar na ito? Yung speed of production too. Kasi although we cannot really push for the factory-like production, no? Pero yung iba kasi, nai-improve na rin nila yung production process nila. Dati, di ba, like I showed you, yung wife lang yung nagdaday and nagweave. So ngayon meron na silang, yung iba, in some communities, meron ng dedicated person to dye, meron ng dedicated person to polish, ganun. So mas napabilis yung production ng iba. And another factor is the marketplace access. So napakalaki ng Philippines and different parts faces different challenge. Marami, especially in the southern Mindanao, you really have no idea for some of them how what they have to go through para mapadala ang order natin sa LBC. So some of them really have to wait for the habal. Ang daming factors, may mga high tide and low tide. Some of them needs to ride a bangka before they can go to the city and find a habal to deliver your goods to LBC. So that's one of the challenge in accessing the marketplace. Tapos yung iba naman, madalas yung typhoon. Yung iba naman, madalas yung baha. So iba-iba. And those things come into play sa production ng mga weaving communities natin. Also, their openness to innovation. Because kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga communities sa low level, diba, like Dagadang, Balangao, Tausug, Blaan, Hanunoo, very strong pa rin kasi yung belief system nila in some topics, especially in spirituality. So most of the time, how they do things, parang it's really preserved. So some of them are not really open to change or improve things, and that's okay. We respect that, diba? We respect that diversity. But some communities, mas open sila, like what I've mentioned earlier, the Rurungan, the people in Palawan. So mas open sila sa innovation, tas mas mabilis yung production and yung capacity nila, yung capacity building nila. Yun. And of course, when they're open to innovation, yung research and development din nila is progressive. So that determines why these communities here are in this category, high, medium, and low level. So yung mga nasa high level of output, is yung mga Ilocano sa Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Abra. Yung mga nasa Cordillera region, 𝐂𝐫𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐺𝐻, Isabela Mountain Province, and Kalinga, Aklanon, in Panay, and the Palaweño. So hindi lang sila open to innovation. They've been doing this for so long and they're really improving their craft. Isa pang advantage dyan, kung mapapansin nyo, ito mga nasa north, yung Palawan lang yung medyo nasa south, diba? So, meron din silang good avenue to access the marketplace. Yan yung advantage din nila. So, yung nasa medium level natin is the Yakan from Basilan and Zamboanga City, the Iranon and the Maguindanaoan. So yung mga Iranon is different from Maguindanaoan. The Iranons understand the Maguindanaoans, but the Maguindanaoans really cannot speak the language of the Iranons. So you can find them in Cotabato, Maguindanao, Haligaynons, in Iloilo and Negros, and the Tibuli in South Cotabato. So the communities in the low-level category, na-mention ko na kanina, diba, Dagadang, Balangao, Tausug, Balaan, and Hanunoo. Ayan. And working with weaving communities, kasi hindi lang talaga, you will realize na when you enter this industry, you will realize that it's not just buy and sell, like other clothing. Na ito yung mga bagay that I learned working with some weaving communities. So number one, you have to give the credit. You have to credit the source of inspiration or the materiality of your creation. So the first photo here at the top left is the ladies in Lanao del Sur in Mindanao. So Lanao del Sur, their capital is Marawi. Ayan, that's where I get this lang kit that I used to accent my clothes. So this is a baby doll dress. So trend. So nung nilagyan ko ng traditional glue, it becomes classic, diba? So, ayan, we get our langkit. I got a bunch of langkit from Zia's Langkit. From Zia's Langkit, and it's owned by Miss Eva Deron. So, andyan siya, and ano yan, mga kapatid niya, kapitbahay, they weave and then they sell. And what they're wearing is malong. So, yung langkit talaga, they use this to accent the malong that they use. And the malong marami ang use in their culture. Second thing I learned is to ask for consent. The photo at the bottom left are the Manobo women where we source our tangkolo. So this is a sample of tangkolo. Originally, it is worn as a headkerchief by men leaders, the datus. Yeah. And then eventually, women leaders emerge. That's when they wear it sa neck na. And can we wear this now? We're not even manobo. So yun, ask for consent. So ngayon, other communities, they allow. As long as may leadership skills ka daw, you can wear. So this is a good practice. You have to ask how you can use, if you can use, and how do you want to use it? Pwede po bang gawin to ng ganito? Because I know there's one Filipino brand na yung designer niya, ang ginawa niya sa damit is binutasan niya yung tinalak. So she pierced it and nagalit yung ating mga Tiboli na kapatid. So she really went to South Cotabato to apologize. Okay naman na sila. But ito yun, you really have to, when you buy textiles from the weaving communities and you're not sure, it's better to ask them kung paano mo gagamitin, if it's okay, and ask for their consent para ma-address din yung cultural appropriation, di ba? So yung tinalak, you cannot wear it as a footwear. Ayaw nilang butasan yun, tsaka gawing footwear. While here, the vertical photo here is a photo of Miss Evelyn Otong with her husband. Ito, and that's tenun. They are yakans. And yung tela na hawak niya is tenun or tinenun, but popularly tinatawag ng yakan eh. Yan, it's okay for them na gawing footwear yung tela nila. So I think I already showed you kanina. And lastly, you really have to compensate. You really have to give them fair compensation. So fair wage and a fair profit sharing, because up to now, you wouldn't believe it, kasi merong weaving community in La Union. So in La Union, they have where is it? Meron silang two kinds of weave, the wasig and the trambia. So this is an example of wasig and oh no. Anyhow, yung wasig kasi, this is the cheapest type of weave in La Union. Ayan, so makikita mo siya, 'di ba, hindi dense. Makikita mo may mga awang pa. And cotton yung gamit nila, and it easily dries. Kaya favorite ko to gamitin beach towel and mat. Now, in some parts of La Union, binibili sa kanila to na dati like during the time of in the time of pandemic, binibili sa kanila ng $8 per yard. Like, just imagine the material, how good it is, diba? And how long they are weaving this. So, wag natin yun gagawin. So, let's give them fair compensation. And yun, natuturuan naman. So, they also learn at hindi na rin sila pumapayag. So, ang ganda, di ba? Just another type of weave from La Union is this one. It's a trambia. Mas makapal siya. But the bathrobe. I'll try to wear. So siguro kaya ganito yung mga tela ng La Union is because malapit sila sa, ayan, this is bathroom, so good cover up. Diba? Ang ganda. Ang ganda-ganda ng mga ano natin, hobby natin. Madili din siyang matuyo. So it's really good to use sa beach, lalo na pag summer. So this is Trambia. Mas makapal siya, and di ba nga Ilocos Norte, parang pinilian pa rin, may mga nakaangat na threads, di ba? But this is more denser compared dun sa wasig. Ayan yung weave ng labuyo. And I just wanna show you how the weaving centers look like now. Kasi hindi na sila nagwe-weave na, you know, in their traditional clothing. They weave in pants and shorts. Ayan. The first two photos from the left is my photo at the ÂMBEntion Center. Actually, yung ÂMBEntion, ano talaga siya, they first tried sericulture. They want to produce silk yarn and weave it. Kaya lang, because this is located in 𝐂𝐫𝐴𝐚𝐥𝐿𝐵 Enchanted Farm in 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐚, masyado mainit, so hindi nag-survive yung mga worms. So they just opted for ano na lang, weaving. And they work in partnership with Bio. Ayan. So ayan na yung itsura ng mga weaving center ngayon. Tas dumami na din. The photo at the bottom left is Miss Andrea, the owner of Indigenous Inabel Craft, and siya yung una naming partner. And siya yung sinasabi ko na nanalo sa weaving competition ni Zara 1. And siya din yung gumawa nung ano, hindi gumawa, because it's an ethnic pattern, yung red shawl kanina. It's an ethnic pattern. But I have sample of, ito pala yun. Ito yung nanalo sa New York, na nirepresent sa New York Fashion Week. So ito yung ethnic. So they call this mata-mata. Kasi makikita mo, kasi yung belief nila doon, so they believe this is the eye of God. Tapos ito mga rivers yan. So parang prayer nila yan when they wear it. Parang prayer nila yan that the eye of God protect their bounty, the roads, the rivers, and the mountains where they get their bounty. But they also, ito na yung modern weaves nila. I don't know if, ang ganda. Ayan. So ito, Japanese-inspired saori. Tas shawl din to, type of shawl. Tas mas malambot na siya. And this is because, dati kasi, ang hirap ng supply ng cotton sa Philippines, but now we have the Habi Council. So they're helping with the infrastructure, on how we can improve the production of cotton in the Philippines. So ngayon, dati medyo matigas yung shawl because hinahaluan nila ng polyester, but now they're not anymore. I think they're just using mercerized cotton kasi yung iba kailangan medyo para mas tumigas and mas may structure. So they're using mercerized cotton. Pero maganda yung cotton lang, mas malambot. Ayan, that's the next photo at the bottom left is her weaving center in Isabela. Ayan. Kung makikita niyo yung mga bagets na nagwi-weave, ito yung story, one of the good things that pandemic brought. Kasi dati, namumroblema na si Ate Andrea, wala nang gustong mag-weave. So, people in their community would rather go for a janitorial job abroad kesa mag-weave. They don't want because wala nang pera sa weaving. Tapos, nung nakakuha naman siya ng mga clients, nahihirapan naman siyang maghanap ng mga tao because people don't want to weave anymore. And then comes pandemic. If you remember, matagal na wala ng klase, and then the government pushed for virtual learning, and a lot of Filipino children don't have mobile devices for their virtual classes. So, yun yung time na nagkaroon siya ng chance, okay, you want to earn? Ayan, tas naturuan niya yung mga bata sa kanila, they learned weaving, but don't worry, this is not child labor, mga nasa university na po sila. Ayan, so that's the beauty of it. Na-pass on niya to the next generation. Kasi dati, ito yung picture ni Ate Andrea sa bottom right, the last photo at the bottom right. Ayan siya, you can see her sitting down and training women in Batanes to weave. So makikita niyo, di ba yung age difference? Ayan. So, di ba, as a ICH bearer, so they have the responsibility to safeguard it and pass it on to the next generation. Thank you! Sorry. Ito yung gusto kong i-play. I just want to show you na ganyan na sila mag-weave ngayon. They're listening to pop music. Ayan. So, what I wanted to tell you is these communities needs help. But of course, you have to ask, what do they want or what do they need? But most of them needs help in funding, in their infrastructure, in technology and innovation, in improving their market access, capacity building, and organizational development. So, yung mga ibang institution like social entrepreneurs, NGOs, and the government, we all need to work together para ma-improve to para sa mga weaving communities. Ayan, and last, dito naman yung mga last lesson. Wala nang connect yung lesson sa mga pictures. However, ito, nilagay ko dito to. The first photo on the left is Roderick de los Santos with a weaver of Binakul. Yes, that's Binakul in Ilocos. So she's not Lola Benedicta, but I wasn't able to get a Lola's name here, but she's one of the oldest weavers in Ilocos. Ayan, si Roderick, siya yung apo ni Lola Benedicta, and he also learned how to weave, and siya yung nag-a-assist sa business because the weavers, they can only weave. They don't know how to use phones, diba? They don't know how to sell, they just want to weave, and they need help for their products to reach the marketplace. And kaya nandito si Sir Roderick and si Miss Diane, the photo below. Miss Diane is also from Ilocos. She's the owner of Handwoven Beauty. So we need people like them na uma-assist to continue the business. And because let's not look for the weavers na gusto natin sa kanila, give the chance to people like Roderick and Miss Diane to assist you. Kasi yung iba, hinahanap yung legitimacy, dapat very direct. But understand that weaving is a familial job. Ayan. The photo on the top right is Miss Layla, the owner of Layla's Loom Weaving, and that's where we get our cantarines, and meron din siyang binakul, but most of cantarines yung in-order namin, and she also supplies for a lot of brands, even Anthill, sa kanya din kumukuha. Ayan, and yung family business nila, ito sila yung example din ng passed on from generation to generation. Now, the photo below is from Mary Rose. She's the granddaughter of the owner of the Arevalo Handwoven products. Ito yung sample ng, so Arevalo Handwoven products are suppliers of hablon from Iloilo. So yung hablon, remember that, right? Ito yung tela na binili namin sa kanila. Sana makita ang ganda ng hablon. And we made it as like this. If not the first and the only, yung Arevalo, yung legit manufacturer ng University of the Philippines sa Blay. Ayan, makikita niyo din sa photo. Ayan. So, I just wanted to show that it is a familial, it is a family business. Ang setting laging ganyan. And we really cannot push for the, to streamline the production and make it a factory-like production. Ayan. Although we can improve the process. So what I learned was, we have to create with intention. And pag nag-weave kasi sila, hindi mo pwedeng madaliin. Mamaya mapapakita ko yung binili naming inabel from Roderick, ginamit namin sa bridal gown. And pag nag-habi kasi sila, yung creation process nila, we really cannot rush that. And ang matututunan mo sa kanila, go for quality rather than quantity. And you have to own it with intention, with purpose rather than trend. And you have to support with intention. Doing business with weaving communities, it's really relational rather than transactional. So just to show the difference between turtles of fashion brands versus the fast fashion. Kasi yung mga clothing natin, no, yung availability, like yung mga brands, the fast fashion brands, ito yung mga attributes nila. It's available versus the slow fashion brands. So fast fashion is available now. For brands like us, you have to wait sometimes 3 to 6 months. Depende sa customization because some pinapa-customize din yung tela. So you have to wait. For fast fashion, time is of the essence. For slow fashion brands, we value time to create. For fast fashion, the production line is really streamlined. For slow fashion brand, it's artisanal. For fast fashion, they have seasons. So it changes with seasons and like 4 times a year and madami. For slow fashion brands, we make capsule collection, maybe once or twice a year, or it could be more, but limited yung designs. For fast fashion, there's no limit in the quantity of production. In slow fashion brand, we run a limited run. In fast fashion, they make pieces according to specs. In slow fashion brand, creativity is encouraged. In fast fashion brands, those are work of the machine. In slow fashion brands, it's the work of the hands. And finally, fast fashion products have no identity, whereas slow fashion products have cultural or social identity, mostly, may ganon. Ayan. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you have to own hand-woven clothing. Number 1, it's durable and unique investment. So remember, it's a traditional good. The product life cycle is longer. So imagine a traditional good with a classic contemporary design. Diba? Napakahaba ng product life cycle niya, and it's even heritable. Kaya nilagay ko yung photo ko, the smallest photo at the left, ayan ako wearing my Hablon Filipiniana dress. And then the next photo is my daughter wearing the same dress. So kasi yung design niya, 'di ba, may belt. So yung size niya is adjustable. And yun yung beauty ng mga classics of fashion. Sabi nga ni Patis Tesoro, Filipiniana is forever. So if you're going to buy Filipiniana, might as well have it made with a hand-woven textile from the Philippines. Legit na legit, diba? It's heritable. It's very durable. Number 2, it's made from eco-friendly materials and manufacturing life cycle. So kita nyo naman, I've shown you earlier, diba, plant-based yung fibers natin, ethically sourced, ethically made, very much value-driven yung production natin. And number 3, the materiality decomposes in 6 months to 2 years. So it also depends how big is the fabric and how thick it is, diba? But if it's made from plant fibers, like cotton or plant fibers, it should be biodegradable. So it should be biodegradable compared to the synthetic fabrics that we have. And I'm also guilty of it. I also have yung pinakakilala at pinakalove natin na polyester because it's economical, it's light, it's easy to use, easy to wash, no? But these polyester, they don't decompose. It takes hundreds of decades for it to break down into smaller pieces. Hindi talaga siya nagdi-decompose. It will just break down into smaller pieces, and then that's how it contributes to the pollution. Number 4 is the level of artistry and intricacy in the fabric. So, di ba, gathering pa lang ng fibers to dyeing it, to weaving the design, very intricate. And I don't think yung mga hand-woven clothing, most of them, if not all, I don't think makakakuha ka ng same exact pieces. Kasi di ba yung weave niya, tas ika-cut yung design, you cannot have like exactly the same piece. Ayan. And very personal and cultural yung level of artistry. And finally, it empowers the people, the culture, and the tradition behind the loom. So it's not just our of course it's our pride and identity, but it's also our economy. So in this way, we can help in safeguarding our ICH. To dive deeper on our intangible cultural heritage. So it is living, it's traditional, contemporary, living and changing. It's heritable, it's transmitted from generation to generation, and it's evolving. So if the weavers now produce like modern weaves like this, we cannot say it's not a cultural heritage anymore, because yung heritage is not just the material, it's the intangible knowledge and skills, diba? And it also changes with time, like fashion. Number, it's inclusive. So it's constantly being created by individuals, communities, and groups. So shared identity and social cohesion. It's representative. So the individuals, it's individual and communal, and the individuals as part of small communities, and these little communities can also be part of the bigger communities. That's why the representation is local, regional, and global. And it's also community-based. So the weavers, the consumers, the communities, and the existing institutions should be learning from a community of practice and promoting responsible practice through learning. So that's how we promote mutual trust. And how can we show up as global Pinoy? Ayan. Kasi we have something, anyway, number 1, understand the impact of colonization and decolonizing thought. Kasi meron din tayong, mentality that pagawang abroad, like, we like it better. I think it's about time to learn to love your own and remove the inferiority, because what we have is one of a kind. Okay. Number 2, understand the stigma. So ito maraming issues of classicism to and sometimes we also have this shame about traditional patterns, denial of heritage, and because of the stigma, and sometimes we also have this feeling of superiority from the minorities. We think we know better, but they also know a lot of things that we don't know. So those are some examples. Number 3, understand the notion of progress from a Filipino perspective. So kasi ang progress, hindi naman yung commercialization, yung e-commerce, it's not a mall. It's the people, diba? Tignan natin doon yung progression. Next is understand the traditional product life cycle versus global product life cycle. So kanina di ba napakita natin and yung mga examples natin how classic are the traditional products versus the mass market produced products na mabilis ang peak, yung growth mabilis and yung maturity, tas mabilis din ang decline. And mabilis nawawala yung value niya. Next is embrace the construct of production. It's interpersonal and familial. So just to align, so we have to understand we really cannot push for the factory-like production. And we have to have the patience and embrace how we produce our goods. Next is understand the value of a product through Filipino lenses. It's the same. Next is stop romanticizing Philippine indigenous culture. Minsan kasi it's indigenous, it's rare, no, it's us, it's part of us. And I think rather than romanticizing it, it's better to really appreciate it and help it so we can help innovate our intangible cultural heritage. And lastly, think sustainability over budget. So you really have to play the long game here. So you have to value the connection, appreciate the longer product life cycle and the impact to the community and the environment for the little difference. Yung sample ko how you can show up as global Pinoy. So I hope mapakita ko dito yung remember the personal style, so you can bring out your own personal style, your own personal identity together with your cultural identity. So I hope na achieve natin yung elegance, yung combination ng elegance, tradition, and sustainability. So ayan. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina that we bought an Abel or Abel Iloco pinilian from Benedicta store and we use it as a gown. So parang kung titignan mo siya, it's underwhelming. But again, di ba sabi ko kanina, you have to find the match and the symbiotic relationship of the clothes and the wearer. So if I'm going to describe the dress, it's simple, it's elegant, it's structured, and it's unique. And it's very much the bride. So ayan. So that's also the attribute of the bride. And we made this for her for their 30th wedding anniversary, pearl anniversary. We incorporated the Abel Iloco because she's an Ilocana. They're now Singaporeans. This is so she just wants a touch of Filipino. She don't want the the Imeldific sleeves. And I used I forgot the fabric na ginamit ko. Dito, it's a kind of satin eh. Anyhow, yung retaso, the excess fabrics from her alampay, asymmetric alampay, we use it to create a belt for her mom. Ayan. Ayan, if we can take a closer look. Ayan yung belt. So it's made made of pearl beads and pinilian because it's their pearl wedding anniversary. And this belt is made by a Bulaqueña jewelry artisan, Miss Ros Flores. She's on Instagram, Junk Shop Abubot. I don't know if it's Junk Shop _ Abubot. Ayan, siya din yung yung I like her design. Ito naman from reclaimed wood. So, ina-upcycle niya and gumagawa siya ng jewelry from upcycled materials. So, I asked her to help me to do this belt for the mother of the bride. So, diba, ito, elegance, tradition, sustainability. This is how we can show up as a global Pinoy. We also customize, by the way, I forgot, we also customize barong. So, ito, kita mo yung custom design ng barong ng group natin. It matches the abel alampay of our bride. Ayan. And I encourage men to try a coat barong kasi ito yung group natin sa middle, photo in the middle. If sinuotan ko siya siguro nung, the traditional one, he will not look as sexy as this. So the coat barong can really like hide those dad bod issues. Ayan. And this is made of pinya. Lahat ng barong na yan is made of pinya. And I'm also wearing, I'm wearing a lady barong, plume barong. It's also made from pinya, from pinya. Ayan. Tapos, we made a twinning barong for the father and son. They requested for that. Ito yung bride doon. So, yung sample ko naman na isa, she asked me if I can make something that gusto niya lang talaga very simple. And she don't want to use the, bahala na. Basta she wants a simple remake of her bridal gown and something that she can wear as a gown and later on, as something na pwede rin pang ninang. Ayan, so that's what we made for her. And I used gazar. Kanina pala, I used mikado. So mikado para may structure. Kasi yun yung personality ng bride natin is structure. Dito naman yung personality ng bride natin dito. She's flowy. Ayan, kaya ang ginamit ko is gazar. And it's the same fabric used by the creator of Kate Middleton's bridal gown to Gazar. And medyo shiny siya, makikita mo. And it's very light kasi she's specific that ayoko ng mainit and comfortable. And ayan, in-incorporate natin yung ating terno sleeves. And we also custom made everything for the family. Finally, I hope you're still with me. Ayan, finally, you really have to understand the materiality, innovation, and sustainability on how we choose our clothing. So the DOST, Philippine Textile Research Institute, is really pushing for the closed loop fashion. So tinuturuan yung mga tao. So what is this? So yung closed loop fashion, we can also call it closed loop economy. So when you produce something, pag gumamit ka ng gamit, you have to use it as long as you can use it and reuse it. So kapag may nasira, tahiin mo, repair it. If nagsawa ka, refashion it. You can also repurpose it. And if some parts are broken, get the some parts that are usable and upcycle it. So yun yung closed loop economy. As long as some parts are usable, it goes in the loop. At gagamitin mo ng gagamitin. The usable part will go on in the loop. That's what the closed loop in fashion is. Yung circular naman, circular fashion economy, ano naman yan? Ang sample niyan is yung hand-me-down. So hanggat ang damit ay nagagamit pa at may value siya at iikot siya sa economy. So example niyan is hand-me-down, yung second-hand market, yung bibili ka ng second-hand, here in Singapore, di ba, we have carousel, second edit, refashion, ayan. One sample is also yung thrifting. Ayan. So as long as the clothes are wearable and useful, it stays in the loop. Ayan yung circular economy. Yung sharing economy naman, di ba? So if we can share spaces like in Airbnb and car, like in Grab rides, we can also share clothes. So an example niyan is paghiram sa mga kapatid mo o sa mga kaibigan, and rentals, yan, dress rentals. Yan yung sharing economy, and that's how, and these are the things we can do to limit the pollution in fashion. Maraming salamat for staying with me na Thursday evening. Let's talk clothes. You can connect with me. This is my email on the screen. Connect with me through LinkedIn and Instagram, 𝐂𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐚𝐥. And may I also ask for your support to support Habi Collective in Singapore. So we can broaden the reach of our Philippine handwoven textiles. We're in Facebook and Instagram. Very soon we will launch our online store. Our email is info@habicollective.com. Muli, ako po si Crystal or CJ. Mabati sa inyo lahat ng maligayang Pasko at masaganang bagong taon. I'm going to give the spotlight back to Doc.
Hi, CJ. Thank you very much for that very interesting, and we really felt your passion when it comes to your advocacy in promoting Philippine textile and the joy of dressing up. Before I ask the question that was sent through the Zoom and through the Facebook page, I just want to give a shout out to those who participated in the Zoom. We have about over 40 people who participated in Zoom, and also those who joined in Facebook page and who liked and also commented and also shared the video for this recording. So we encourage those who are listening both on Zoom and Facebook page to continuously share, especially your advocacy. I think this resonates with a lot of us Filipino who are overseas based. So we would like to shout out Sir Jonathan, Eds Martinez, Tisay, and Ma'am Evelyn Kasuagan from the FAUS. Okay, so but let me go back to the first question. We do have limited time, so I will entertain just a few, 2 to 3 questions. The first question that was sent to us is, I think you mentioned about certain limitation, tsaka bawal when it comes to Habi. And I think you mentioned about cultural appropriation. Maybe you can explain a bit more, and any other bawal or limitation when it comes to use of this precious textile.
Okay. Number one, we really have to understand. So in order to understand the present, we really have to learn about the past. So if you're interested in using a certain type of textile, you really have to know kung saan siya ginawa. Diba? And then there you can ask the community, because again, it changes eh. So maybe before, the Ilocanos don't want their handwoven textile to be used as bags, but now they allow. So ayun, ano lang kasi, in a very simple term, it's respecting their culture and tradition, so you can appropriately use their products. Ayan. Again, it's the development is progressing. Pwedeng mag-iiba na, pwede na. But ang kailangan lang natin talagang i-consider is the respect, how these communities wants to use their products. So it's always better to ask for consent on how you want to use.
Thank you very much. So there was also a question sent privately. Ano daw po yung pinaka-popular, pinakakilalang uri ng Philippine textile or Habi? At ano daw yung pinakamura at pinakamahal?
Okay. Pinaka-popular at pinaka-sought after. So it's really the piña from Aklan. So we call it the queen textile of the Philippines. Kasi since then up to now, yun yung ginagamit natin for our formal attires, and continuous yung development niya. So yung piña fiber is very open to some other disciplines that they can experiment. Ayan. Tapos, that's also one of the pinakamahal. Kasi kita-kita naman natin kung paano gamitin. So, that's pinya. Yung pinakamura, textiles from Ilocos region, the Binakul and the Cantarines. I think you can buy that per yard, 200, 350 pesos per yard. Ayan, nagva-vary din kasi because the pinya and the hablon, it's around 1,000, 1,215 per yard. So, ganun. Yung price differences. So, if you want yung economical, marami po sa Luzon. I'm not sure if I've shown the Cantarines. Sorry. Anyway, ano kasi yun, yung Cantarines, kaya siya tinawag na Cantarines, the weavers, kapag pagod na sila, they sing while they weave. Ayan, and ginagawa yan sa northern part of Luzon.
Thank you, CJ. So I think many are interested to see the fabric if they have the chance face-to-face. Kasi I think yung Zoom natin naka-blur yung background. So partially, nakikita naman, pero partially. But I think some of them are interested to see the fabric. So you mentioned about your social media page or your email. So what's the best way that they can contact you?
You can reach us in our social media pages. So we also post photos of our hand-woven textiles there, or you can come and drop by in my mini showroom, so you can personally touch it and see. And I'm located in Pasir-Ris, so just reach out.
Okay. So again, for those who miss this program, you can replay this on Philippine Bayanihan Society homepage. You can share this recording to your friends and loved ones, and especially for us who are, again, overseas based. It's a good way to show that we are global Pinoy. So maybe just a last message from CJ about really her passion in promoting a Philippine textile.
I want to say thank you to everyone who took the time to listen and learn, and I hope you can find your own or develop your own personal style and incorporate our Philippine hand-woven textiles in your fashion journey. And God bless everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Again, in behalf of Attorney Ranbir, our president, and the rest of the board members of the Philippine Bayanihan Society, thank you for your support for the rest, for the entire 2023. And we look forward to see you in our upcoming activities in 2024. Philippine Bayanihan is located at Pasir Panjang, right? So Bayanihan Center at 43 Pasir Panjang. You can see our homepage and our email and our contact number. So don't hesitate to reach to us. We do house several Filipino organization based in Singapore. And next slide, please. Okay, so please follow our official social media page, our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our YouTube. And for everyone out there, and we also have our YouTube channel. Okay, so any sponsorship opportunities or any suggestion, comments, please don't hesitate to email us at bayanihancenter@singnet.com.sg. To finish this off, Merry Christmas to everyone, and we'll see you very soon. Again, thank you, Ma'am CJ, and I look forward to seeing it face-to-face the Philippine Textile. Again, thank you very much. For any comments and suggestions, please drop by, and we'll announce the next workshop very soon on our Facebook page. Magandang gabi. See you, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.